Hey, welcome to the challenge. Super excited to have you here. And I'm sure you're like, what the heck is going on? What do I do? So that's what this video is about. We're gonna talk about the first nutritional strategy and how to get it done. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be carb cycling. Now, what carb cycling is, it's a strategic way to reduce your food quantity. And the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna utilize carbs. We're gonna have high carb days and we're gonna have low carb days.
Carb days.
So as you can see, there's gonna be certain percentages that you'll have to follow. That way you can optimize this journey and really see a lot of results. So we'll get right into it. The first thing we have to do is find your numbers. So the way we'll do that is we'll calculate your ideal body weight times 10. So let's say you're 200 pounds and your ideal body weight is about 180 pounds.
So ideal body weight would be 180 times 10, which that will end up giving you a total of 1,800 calories that you would need for the day. Now you're gonna have a little bit of wiggle room with this number. So we like to say like a 200 to 300 calorie difference in there. So if you're calculating yourself to be at 1,800, depending on how you're feeling, if you're feeling like it's not enough calories throughout the day, you can have up to 19, 2,000, 2,100 calories. So that way you have that little wiggle room. And then the other thing is, if you already know how many calories you're consuming in a day, let's say you know you're consuming 1,500 calories a day, we would actually recommend that you start with that number with the carb cycling, and then after the first week weigh-in, see how that kind of worked for you. Okay. So you have your calories, so what you're gonna do next is go ahead and grab your phone and go ahead and get into your MyFitnessPal. This is gonna be the easiest way to figure out how many grams of each food that you need, because you won't have to calculate it. MyFitnessPal will calculate it for you. So let's go ahead and start by opening up MyFitnessPal.
All right, you're gonna grab your phone, and the first thing you're gonna do is go to your goals section.
Hashtag goals.
And then you're gonna go down a little bit. There's gonna be a section that says calorie, carbs, protein, and fat goals.
How many commas?
You're gonna click that. There's only like, I don't know, 2 commas. And then you're gonna see a section that says calorie, carbs, protein, fat. And what I want you to do is you're gonna go to the calories and you're going to type in 1,800.
Or whatever number you calculated.
Yeah.
During the first part.
Whatever your number is. And this can always change, but let's type in the ideal body weight times 10. Now, we're gonna calculate 2 different days. So you're gonna have 2 sets of numbers. So make sure you have something to write this down so that way you can remember and you can be prepared so that way you see some success during this challenge. So let's first figure out all the ratios. You got your calories in there, and then we're gonna look at ratios.
Now this is super simple. Now all you're doing is plugging in the percentages for this high carb day.
Yep, that's it. So 50% on your carbs, and then 35% on your protein, and then you're gonna have 15% on your fat. And then make sure you hit that check mark, because that's gonna be super important so it calculates properly. Now let's write the numbers down. 50% for carbs is gonna be 225 grams. Protein is 158 grams there. And then your fat is 30 grams. And as you can see, you guys are so glad I didn't do this, because this will look disgusting. I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to read it. So
he's not.
Thank you.
He is not joking right now.
Okay.
It would look like chicken scratch, second grader.
This is our high carb day. Let's figure out low carb.
So now you already have your calories in there. Now we're just gonna go back in and switch those percentages in there to reflect your low carb day, so that way you get the amount of grams that you need during your non-weight day and rest days.
Yeah. So your calories are already there. Let's go into carbs. We're gonna make sure that says 15%. We're gonna make sure the protein is at 35%, and then fat is gonna be 50%. And remember, this is in your success manual if you forget these numbers. So let's calculate that. We're gonna hit that check mark to make sure everything goes through properly. All right, let's write down the carbs. 68 grams of carbs, and then fat is 100 grams of fat. So we got a lot more fat that we're gonna be working with on this day. And then our protein is the same, 158 grams.
So protein always stays the same. On your high carb days, you'll have less fat to work with. On your low carb days, you'll have more fat to work with. That way you're still hitting your calories for the day. Yeah.
Now, so these are your numbers. These are your numbers. And what's gonna happen is we recommend that you have 4 times you eat. So you're gonna have three meals and 1 snack. So what you're gonna do to figure out how much of each one of these you need per day when you do your meal prepping is you're just gonna divide all these numbers by 4. That's it.
And that's what we recommend, because sometimes most people eat 3 meals and a snack, but if you feel like all you need is 3 meals, then you'll divide the number by 3. But let's start with dividing the number by 4, assuming you're gonna have 4 meals throughout the day.
Yes. So we'll pull out an easy calculator, $225. Try your best to get as close as possible.
158 divided by 4 is how much?
39.5.
39.5. Now this is gonna be the amount of grams that you have per meal if you had 4 meals, because we divided it by 4. Now if you feel like you're only gonna do 3 meals, divide these numbers by 3 so that way you know how much you need per meal.
Yeah, but try out 4, that's what we recommend, and see how that goes. And we'll always be able to adjust. Every week we're gonna be adjusting and figuring out what's working and what's not working, and we'll scratch what's not.
So let's go ahead and do the
figure out
low
these
carb.
numbers. 60. And that's that. That's our numbers. This is what you'll have every single meal. And these are grams, 56.2 grams, 7.5 grams. And we'll show you how to do that on the meal prepping video.